If you're a man over 60 and you've quietly started to feel like your body is letting you down, like the spark is fading, and no matter how much you want to show up for your partner, your body just won't follow, this might hit home. You're not broken. You're not past your prime. But there's something you're doing every single morning that's slowly shutting your system down. And you don't even know it. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear might change everything. I'm Dr. Mary Blake. I'm a board-certified urologist with over 30 years of experience helping men just like you, men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, reclaim their strength, their performance, and their presence in their own skin. Most men think that when their energy fades or their erections weaken, it's just old age. But that's not the full story. In fact, the way you hydrate, yes, the way you drink water, might be silently draining your testosterone, thickening your blood, and blocking your circulation. And worse, it's happening quietly. No warning signs. Just one morning, you don't feel like yourself anymore. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to reverse that. You'll learn the hydration rhythm I give to my patients. It's a step-by-step formula: room temperature water, a 7-second morning breathing trick, and a small mineral tweak that's helped men restore performance and morning response in as little as 10 to 14 days. No pills. No shame. Just biology, working with you, not against you. But if you ignore this, the downward slide continues. More fatigue. More frustration. More distance, from your partner, and from the man you used to be. So if you've been feeling like something's slipping but don't know why, this is for you. Watch until the end. Don't miss this, it could be the most important thing you hear this year. They told you it was just age. That slowing down was natural. That feeling less desire, less drive, and less like a man was simply part of getting older. But the truth is, that slow fade you've been feeling? That quiet shift from wanting to worrying, from connecting to withdrawing, it's not just aging. It's your body waving a white flag. And you're missing the signal. If you're a man over 60 and you've started waking up less firm, feeling more tired, or needing more time to recover, you might think it's just your hormones winding down. But in reality, it could be something as simple, as overlooked, and as fixable as water. Yes. Water. But stay with me, because it gets worse. You see, when you're even slightly dehydrated, your blood thickens. It moves slower. And when blood can't circulate freely, especially to that part of your body, your erections weaken. Your confidence slips. Your energy tanks. Even your testosterone begins to drop, not because your body can't make it, but because it's stuck in survival mode, prioritizing your heart, not your manhood. And if you think that's bad, listen to this. Dehydration also spikes your cortisol, your main stress hormone. And cortisol kills testosterone. They work like a seesaw: when one goes up, the other drops. That's why so many men tell me, "Doc, I'm not even stressed, but I feel off, disconnected from myself." They're not broken. They're just running dry, and no one ever told them. No one wants to say this, but you need to hear it. Most men drink water the wrong way, chugging it too fast, too cold, too late. They rely on thirst as a signal, but by the time you're thirsty, the damage is already done. And no, your morning coffee or that glass of wine with dinner doesn't count. In fact, they're making things worse. Quietly. Every day. Let me tell you about Walter. He was 72. Recently widowed. Sharp mind, kind eyes, but something in him had dimmed. He sat across from me and said, "Doc, I'm not sick. I just don't feel like myself anymore." His labs weren't alarming, but his testosterone was low. No obvious disease. No medications. But when I asked about his water intake, he looked down and whispered, "Honestly? Probably not much." That one line explained everything. Walter had accepted that his body was slowing down. That his spark was gone. That intimacy was off the table for good. But the truth? He was simply dehydrated. He was showing up every day with a dry engine, wondering why it wouldn't run. And sadly, he's not the only one. Thousands of men over 60 are walking around thinking they're broken, when really, they're just missing the most basic fuel. And the worst part? They suffer in silence. They don't tell their wives. They don't tell their doctors. They blame age. They blame themselves. But it's not their fault. You just weren't told the truth. Stay with me, we're not done yet. Because now that you know the real problem, you need to hear how to fix it. And I promise you, it's simpler and more powerful than you think. I know that what we just talked about is heavy, because for men at your age, losing that inner spark can feel like losing a part of yourself. But the good news is, this isn't the end of the story. There are simple, specific steps you can start today to restore your energy, your drive, and your confidence. No pills, no pressure, just a smarter way to work with your body. Stay with me, because this next part might be exactly what you've been waiting for. Now let's talk about exactly what you can do, starting today. I'm not going to give you vague advice or another list of supplements. You're going to learn practical, real-world steps that I've used with men over 60 in my clinic for years. Steps that actually work. And they're simpler than you think. Don't miss what's next, because this can change everything. Secret number 1, you've been drinking water the wrong way your entire life. You were taught that hydration means grabbing a big bottle, chugging it fast, and calling it done. But the truth is, your body doesn't absorb water that way, especially not at this stage of life. When you drink too fast, or too much at once, especially if it's cold, your body flushes it out. You miss the benefit entirely. And if you're over 60, that mistake isn't harmless, it's hurting you. Your blood gets thick, your circulation slows down, and your erections weaken. Your heart has to pump harder. Your testosterone gets trapped. And you never even feel thirsty until it's too late. Here's what your body actually wants: room temperature water, small sips, spaced throughout the day. Drink while seated. Let the water linger in your mouth for a few seconds before swallowing. It helps absorption more than you'd think. I had a patient named Jim. He was 68. Retired, fairly active, no major medical issues. But his performance had dropped. His energy was gone. His mood was flat. When I asked about hydration, he laughed. I drink coffee. Maybe soda. Not much water, doc. I gave him one change: stop chugging cold drinks. Start sipping water, slow and steady, while seated, with intention. Nothing else. 2 weeks later, he came back smiling. Doc, he said, I don't know what you did, but I feel like something's working again. That wasn't luck. That was physiology. When you hydrate right, everything improves: blood flow, hormone delivery, mood, and yes, erections. Stay with me, because the next one is even better. Secret number 2, add a pinch of sea salt to your morning water. You've probably been told to avoid salt, especially as you get older. But the truth is, not all salt is the enemy. In fact, for men over 60, the right kind of salt, in the right amount, can be the key to hydration that actually works. Here's why: as you age, your body loses minerals faster. Your kidneys don't retain electrolytes as efficiently. That means even when you drink enough water, it may not be staying where it needs to, inside your cells. Sea salt, especially unprocessed types like Celtic or Himalayan, contains essential minerals like magnesium, potassium, and trace sodium. These minerals help your body hold on to water, regulate blood pressure naturally, and support nerve signals, including the ones that trigger arousal and performance. Here's how to do it. First thing in the morning, before coffee or food, drink 1 full glass of room temperature water. But this time add a tiny pinch, just a few grains, of quality sea salt. Stir it. Sip it slowly, while seated. Let it settle in your mouth before swallowing. This small step sends a powerful message to your body: I'm here to fuel you. Let me tell you about Richard. He's 66. Retired firefighter. Years of shift work, stress, and poor sleep had left him flat. He came to me tired, foggy, and frustrated. "Doc, I feel like a shell of myself," he said. We looked at his habits. He was drinking more water, but still felt off. I asked, "Are you replacing any minerals?" He shook his head. I gave him one addition, salt water in the morning. Within 10 days, his energy picked up. He stopped napping in the afternoons. His mind felt clearer. His blood pressure stabilized. Most importantly, he said, "Doc, I finally feel like my body's on my side again." It wasn't a miracle. It was a missing mineral. Stay with me, because the next tip works hand in hand with this one, and it's something most men never even think about. Secret number 3, the 7-second morning breathing trick that boosts blood flow naturally. Most men over 60 focus on what they put into their body, but few ever think about how they breathe. And that's a mistake, because one of the most powerful tools for your blood flow doesn't come in a pill or a bottle. It starts with your nose. Here's the truth, your body produces a natural gas called nitric oxide. It's what tells your blood vessels to relax and open up. That means better circulation, better oxygen delivery, and yes, better erections. But here's the problem, nitric oxide levels drop steeply after age 60. You were never told this. And no one teaches you how to bring it back. So let me show you the breathing routine I give my patients. It takes just 7 seconds, and you do it right after your morning glass of water. Sit down. Feet flat. Shoulders relaxed. Now breathe in slowly through your nose, for a count of 4. Hold it for 2 seconds. Then exhale gently through your nose for 1 second. That's it. Just 7 seconds. Do it 3 to 5 times. This kind of deep nasal breathing triggers nitric oxide release from your sinus cavity. It also activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of you that says, "We're safe, we're ready, let's function." Greg was 70 when I met him. A retired teacher. Healthy, hydrated, eating well. But still, he said, "Doc, I feel disconnected. Like the engine turns over, but it doesn't start." I introduced this simple breath work after his morning water. 2 weeks later, he walked into my office with a different presence. Something shifted, he told me. I feel lighter. Clearer. And yes, more responsive. This isn't spiritual fluff. It's biology. And it works with your body, not against it. You've already got water flowing. Now, this breath helps direct it where it matters most. Don't go anywhere, you need to know what not to do next, because most men are unknowingly canceling all their progress. Secret number 4, what you're doing that cancels out all your progress. I've seen it too many times. A man starts drinking water the right way. He adds minerals. He breathes with intention. And still, the results are slow. Frustrating. Disappointing. That's because there are hidden habits, things you do every day without thinking, that quietly drain your hydration, unbalance your hormones, and undo the good work you're trying to build. Let's start with caffeine. Your morning coffee? It's a diuretic. That means it pulls water out of your system. For every cup of coffee, you're losing fluid, even if you feel alert. Then there's alcohol. A single glass of wine in the evening may seem harmless. But for men over 60, it's enough to interfere with testosterone, hydration, and sleep quality. And all of that hits your circulation hard. Even healthy habits can work against you. Like eating fruit, grapes, oranges, watermelon, then drinking water right after. It sounds innocent, but it can dilute digestive enzymes and cause bloating, slowing nutrient absorption and making your hydration less effective. I had a patient named Harold. He was 74, retired pilot, very disciplined. He followed my hydration routine to the letter. But during our check-in, he said, "Doc, I thought I'd feel better by now." We dug deeper. Every morning started with strong coffee. Dinner always came with wine. And he drank cold water right after fruit. One by one, we made small changes. Cut back caffeine. Moved water to before fruit. Sipped, not chugged. Within a week, he said, "Doc, now it feels like my body finally got the message." Sometimes it's not about doing more. It's about removing what's quietly holding you back. Stay with me, because next, I'll show you how, when, and how often you hydrate matters just as much as what you drink. Secret number 5, timing and posture matter more than you think. You've probably never thought about how you drink water, let alone when. But for men at your stage of life, the difference between average and optimal often comes down to the details. Here's what most men miss: your body absorbs water best when you're relaxed, seated, and not distracted. Drinking while standing, walking, or multitasking puts your body in a stress state. Your nervous system says, "We're on the move," and digestion, absorption, and circulation all slow down. Now let's talk timing. If you drink a large glass of water after a heavy meal or close to bedtime, your body doesn't handle it well. It disrupts digestion. It can dilute stomach acid. And it often leads to disrupted sleep, frequent bathroom trips, and lower quality rest. And poor sleep equals lower testosterone. Instead, here's the rhythm I teach. Start your day with water before anything else, before coffee, before food. Drink again mid-morning. Another before lunch. One in the afternoon. One in the early evening. And then stop at least an hour before bed. Also, always try to drink while seated. Even pausing for 30 seconds to sit and sip signals your body, it's time to receive. Let me tell you about Frank. He was 67. Retired electrician. He said, "Doc, I feel like someone turned the volume down on my life." He wasn't sick. Just tired. Disconnected. All we did was structure his water. Same amount, just spaced out. Sitting down. No more late-night gulps. After 3 weeks, he told me, "I didn't realize how far I'd slipped, until I started coming back." Stay with me, because what comes next will tie everything together in a way that finally makes it real. And you'll meet a man who reminds me why this work matters so much. Secret number 6, the small routine that brought Walter back to life. Let's pull everything together. If you've been following so far, you already know more than most doctors ever tell their patients. You now understand that hydration, done right, isn't just about water. It's about how, when, with what, and in what state of mind. When you hydrate the right way, your blood flows better. Your hormones stabilize. Your mind clears. And your body responds. It doesn't take gallons. It doesn't take pills. It takes rhythm, intention, and a little bit of respect for your biology. Now I want to share one last story with you. Walter was 72. Widowed. Lived alone in a quiet house he once shared with his wife. Sharp mind. Good posture. But something in his eyes felt gone. He came to me and said, "Doc, I don't feel sick. I just don't feel like me anymore." He wasn't on meds. He ate fairly well. Walked most mornings. But he had lost interest. In touch. In energy. In life. When we talked, I asked about hydration. He shrugged. Probably not enough. Maybe a few sips here and there. I gave him a simple plan. Start with 1 glass in the morning, with a pinch of sea salt. Add the 7-second breath right after. Then sip slowly throughout the day, never rushing, never cold, always sitting down. Avoid water after fruit, limit caffeine, stop drinking an hour before bed. He promised to try. Nothing else changed. For weeks later, he returned. But this time, there was a light in his eyes. "Doc," he said, "I don't know if it's the water, or if I'm finally breathing again, but I feel awake." And he's just one of many men who turned things around. It's not too late. You're not too far gone. And your body? It's still listening. All you have to do is start. Don't go anywhere, because what comes next is even more important. They told you that drinking water was simple. Just grab a bottle, chug it down, and move on. They told you thirst would guide you. That coffee and soda could count. That staying hydrated wasn't something real men needed to think about. But the truth is, that mindset is silently hurting you. Especially if you're over 60. And worse, it's probably been doing damage for years without you even noticing. But stay with me, because you really need to hear this. Most men your age make the same mistake. They only drink when they're thirsty. They chug water standing up. They down cold drinks. And they assume hydration is just about quantity, not quality. But your body doesn't work like it used to. Your kidneys are slower. Your blood is thicker. Your absorption is weaker. And if you don't adapt to that, you're setting yourself up for problems that go far beyond just feeling tired. This isn't just about being dehydrated. It's about blood flow, testosterone, circulation, and intimacy. When you drink too fast, or too late, or after caffeine or alcohol, your body flushes out what it needs to hold on to. You lose minerals like magnesium and sodium that support nerve function, muscle strength, and arousal. You're trying to perform with half a tank, and you don't even know it. And if you think that's bad, there's more you need to know. Your heart has to pump harder to move thick blood. That stresses your cardiovascular system. Your testosterone production slows down, not because your body's broken, but because it's in survival mode. Your erections weaken. Your recovery slows. You lose interest, not just in sex, but in connection. In presence. In being you. Most men don't even realize it's happening until it's too late. And no one talks about it. No one says it. Because it's taboo. Because real men don't complain. Because we've been taught to just accept it. But let me say this clearly, no one wants to say it, but you need to hear it. You've been misled. You were never taught how hydration actually works. Not at 25. And certainly not now, when your body's demands have changed. I'm here to tell you the truth. Because this is too important to keep silent about. You're not weak. You're not broken. And you're not alone. I know it feels frustrating. Maybe even a little embarrassing. But I've sat across from hundreds of men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, men just like you, who felt ashamed, confused, or quietly disappointed in themselves. And what I told them is the same thing I'm telling you now: this can change. And it's not too late. Stay with me, I'm going to help you change this. You've made the mistake. Now let's fix it. And that's just the beginning. Because in the next part, I'll show you exactly how to build a routine that supports your body, every single day. You need to hear what comes next. Knowing the truth isn't enough. Hearing the science, understanding the causes, that's all important. But without a plan, knowledge is useless. You need something you can do today. Something simple. Something real. Because when you've spent decades ignoring hydration, routine is what brings your body back to life. But let's make this real. Here's the plan I give to my patients. Men over 60 who are ready to feel like themselves again. We start small, because consistency is what changes things. First thing in the morning, before you eat or drink anything else, sit down and slowly drink 1 full glass of room temperature water. Just water, no distractions. If you can, add a pinch of sea salt to support your minerals. Then take 3 deep breaths through your nose. This combination starts your day with blood flow, calm, and intention. Next, drink your second glass of water within 2 hours. Again, slowly. Don't gulp. Let your body receive it. Around lunchtime, sip another glass. If you had coffee or were out in the sun, drink more. In the afternoon, drink 1 more. And in the early evening, have your final glass, but stop at least 1 hour before bed. It doesn't have to be complicated. If you eat fruit like oranges or watermelon, drink water before, not after. Let your digestion work without dilution. And always try to drink while seated. This small habit signals your body to absorb and process better. Why does all this matter? Because your circulation, hormones, and nervous system work on rhythm. When you hydrate in a steady, intentional way, your blood becomes lighter. Your heart pumps easier. Oxygen moves. Testosterone flows. Your erections improve, not because of a drug, but because your system is finally supported. You can do this. Even if it feels small, it's better than doing nothing. One glass is better than none. A good morning is better than a foggy one. You're not too old to start. You're not behind. Your body is still listening, it just needs you to speak its language again. Stick with me, I want you to try this. And there's even more you need to know. Because next, we're going to talk about the real reason so many men give up, why they lose hope, and how to get it back. You'll want to hear the next part. You've learned that hydration isn't just about drinking more, it's about drinking smarter. We talked about how timing, temperature, posture, and even minerals like sea salt can change everything for men over 60. You discovered how breath can activate nitric oxide, how daily rhythms rebuild circulation, and how avoiding hidden habits like cold water or coffee after fruit can unlock your strength again. This is not just talk, it's real medicine. It's how I've helped hundreds of men feel like themselves again, without drugs, without shame, without waiting. But if you ignore it, the slide continues. Slowly. Quietly. You'll feel more tired, more distant, more unsure of who you are. Your body won't scream, it'll whisper, and one day you'll wonder when you stopped feeling like a man. And I don't want that for you. I know this topic is hard. You might feel embarrassed. Maybe even a little angry. Why didn't anyone tell me this earlier? You're not broken. You're not weak. You've just been misinformed, or worse, ignored. But now, you know. And now, you can change. And you deserve to. If this message spoke to you, don't stay silent, join the conversation. Type 1 in the comments if it made sense. Type 0 if it didn't, I want to know how to serve you better. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on the bell so you never miss advice made for you, a man over 60 who still believes in his body, and in his strength. Thank you for staying with me until the end. I don't take that lightly. You gave your time, your attention, and maybe even a little of your trust. And I'm honored. Stay with me, more truths are coming your way. Ones that will help you reclaim your health, your energy, and your quiet confidence, one day at a time.